Welcome back, folks, to another rebuild, and this time we're going to go over to Holland, where we haven't been for quite a while, and surprisingly we're going to go over to Ajax, mainly because they've not won the title in the last 3 years. The last time they won it in the 21-22 season, I think it was. Got picked to the post last season by, I think it was PSV, by 1 point, and we're going to put them back at the top of Dutch football. And to make the challenge a little bit more difficult, we're going to try and win them the Champions League before we end this video. But there will be a catch. We will only be allowed to sign players under the age of 21, and Ajax do have very good foundations for picking very, very young talent and selling them on for masses of money, where we don't particularly want to do that if we can avoid it. But yeah, if some decent players come in, then obviously, yeah, we will need to sell in order to buy. But that will be the only stipulation or rule for this challenge. So let's jump straight into it and let's see what we're playing with. So the Eredivisie was the last time they won it in 2022, so that is now 3 seasons ago. We are playing an updated database, which was updated as of today. I've just downloaded it, the 17th of July. So we'll have all the up-to-date transfers as of today. And the Champions League, they have won it 4 times apparently. 3 times on the bounce in the 1970s, and the last time they won it was 1995. But this will be the old European football tournament, not the Champions League as we know it. They are predicted to finish top of the table, which is probably a gimme, but they've found it difficult in the past couple of seasons. And this will be their favoured formation, which seems pretty reasonable actually. I quite got used to this one as well. There's quite a few formations now which I'm quite liking, which I've never used before. This is one of my favourites. Normally go with 2 DMs and a cam, but this has worked in previous rebuilds as well. I think on the last one we have done, I think with Sampdoria actually. So if you haven't watched that, then please go check it out. But there's a couple of loan obligations. The club vision, sign players under the age of 18 for the future. Under 23 for the first team, so it's almost with what I want to do anyway. So but we are doing under 21s just to make it that bit more difficult. Work within the budget, spend the original transfer budget, maintain the status most reputable team in Netherlands, which shouldn't be too hard, and grow the club's reputation. We can do that by winning the Champions League as well. Minimum 3-year contracts for first team players. So yeah, if we get any youngsters, obviously we want 5-year contracts. We want to challenge for the title, win the title in the following year. Okay, so we've got a pass in the first season, but of course we want to win it as many times as we can before winning the Champions League. Might all do it in 1 season, who knows? So first of all, we'll look at the finances, and we have got 104 million euros in the bank, 35 in the transfer kitty. Our wage budget right up to the max, so we'll probably have to move that around if we bring in any more players. Any debts? 2.9 million. Is that all? And that will be gone in, well, in real time it will be now, but we've got a couple of seasons, so just pay it off. 3 million, just pay it off. I wish there was somewhere in here that you could go and pay things off. Staffing, looks like we've got nobody. Oh, by the way, we are using a new skin as well. I think it's a SAS 2025, I think it is. That can be found on FM24.com website. Just a little bit of a change, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm trying to find my figures. It's the first time using it myself, and just wanted something different as we are stagnating on FM24 at the moment until 26 comes out. But yeah, we've got no coaches. Has everybody left? That's what it seems like. Squad size 24. Average. Oh, this is nice. I do like this as well, actually. Average age. It does give you a little bit of information on there as well. I always hate having to search what the average age is. 25. That's good. So the oldest player we've got is 41-year-old goalkeeper Pazvia. I don't know whether he's actually playing some or not. I don't know. Bergwiz, 33-year-old. In fact, we've got 4 players 30 and above. If we can move them along them wonderful stuff, but they might be our best players, I think. But if we have a look at the other end, we've got Yorti Makoyo. Oh, this looks a little bit decent as well, actually. It's kind of nice and refreshing to see different pictures, I think. Defender DM, 17 years old, I think he was. Hato, is he the Hato? I think it could be, you know, Yoro Hato, 19 years old. Wonderful. Them stats look amazing, actually, for the youngster. Koloko, 20 years old, left winger. Wow. Borges, left winger as well. I think I can play on the right hand side, actually. Reasonably cool. Wow. Flipping heck. Look at that. Pace and acceleration, 17. 21 years old. Bag these players in now. Regia, another young person, 21 years old. Okay, right back. I think what we'll do, we'll play with the youngest players and see if we can improve some. But yeah, some of these older players, we've got Weghorst as well, who was at Manchester United a long time ago, so it seems. Could still be useful. Pace is dropping off a little bit, 10 and 12. Anybody else? Striker, Brobby. Oh yeah, he'll be our number 1 striker then. Good finishing, I guess. There's a lot of players here that we can definitely, if we can hang on to, which I plan to, we can build around and bring more younger players in. But I think some of these older ones we can probably offload. We've got 25-year-old Jay Gorter as well, another goalkeeper. So at least we've got 2 goalkeepers. We can probably offload this one, Pasvia, unless he's planning on retiring. If we sign any youngsters in, they've got to be good to come in straight in. But these youngsters here, and see if we can actually physically use them, because they can probably grow quite a lot. Right, so I think first thing is first is decide on a formation, decide what we're going to be, who we're going to be playing in fact, and see if we can bring any extra people in and maybe offload some the other way maybe. So we could trim this squad down a tad, although they are a squad size of 24, and see if we can spot out some gems out there in the market. So just a little bit of movement over the window. So we managed to lose our 30-plus-year-olds, a few of them. Bergqvist has gone to Everton for 6.5 million. Klassen's gone to Wolves for 5.5, and Fulham pick up Weghorst as well for 3.2. We've managed to bring in quite a few players, all 21 and under. And the first one being is Simone Profundi from Udinese for 14.5 million. Very much a class act, and I think he can very much excel in this position. Bags of potential. As you can see, he's further down the pecking order. However, we are going to be locking him in. He is 19 years old. From Toulouse for 6.75, I think it was. Restes, the goalkeeper, wanted to get a young goalkeeper in, and at 20 years old, Restes is probably one of the better ones on the game, and we know he can develop quite quickly. Worth up to 15 now. 20 years old. Some of them stats look pretty good. He's only conceded 7 in 8 games for us so far. And finally, from Besiktas for 10 million, we bring in Kilskoy Semi. I think we'll call him in the future. Bags of potential again. I've not really used him at all in any of my rebuilds, so it'd be quite interesting to see how well he does. Esposito was available, and I nearly picked him up, and I thought, no, we'll try somebody different for a change. 14 finishing, reasonably quick. I think him and Brobby up front will help us quite a lot. It'd be an interesting battle between the two of them. So I've opted for a 4-2-3-1 as opposed to 1 DM, 2 midfielders. I just wanted to utilise all our young players, and the guys that I've locked in, they disappear when we pick our best 11, pretty much apart from Hato. That is about it. So if I undo it, we're locking in Semi, Profundi, Koloko, got Hato, Mocchio and Restes. Although one of our players are injured already, so make room for one of the original ones in there. But apart from that, these are all pretty young. And it's gone reasonably well, actually. The league, we've beat Telstar 6-0. Feyenoord was a good victory at home, 1-0. Sparta Rotterdam at home 4-1, and we've just drawn our last game away from home 1-1. The Champions League, we had to go through the qualifiers. We played Sturm Graz, beat them 4-1 in the first leg, then drew 2-2. We did lose 1-0 in the first leg against Nice in the next round, and we beat them at home and won on penalties in the end. And it was an own goal that saved us. So the Champions League, we've made it through to the next round. I'm guessing it's not the new phase just yet, so we'll have a look at this bit here. So we've got Barcelona, Napoli and Newcastle. We are lying top of the table, where you probably would expect us to see, but don't forget we have got youngsters, so if we remain there, it will be a very, very good season. So with us offloading some of the best players, or the older ones, are they predicted to finish first still? 12-5, same with PSV. So let's jump into our first season and see if we can win back our Eredivisie and see how well we do in the Champions League with these youngsters. After a great start with the youngsters, we remained unbeaten through August and September, including this 1-0 victory over PSV. Traore doing all he can to score the goal. And not long after, we lost our first game. Despite leading 1-0 on the hour against Zol, we ended up losing with an 89th minute winner. Quickly followed by a 1-0 loss at home again, and this time to Fortuna Sittard. But we rallied enough towards the end of the year with a cracking 3-1 victory away at Feyenoord, one of our closest rivals this season. By the end of February, we had lost a further 3 games, including this 3-0 away loss at Heerenveen, before rallying towards the end of the season, including a 1-0 victory over Zol, getting our revenge back. And unfortunately, it just was not enough to win the league. 7 losses this season, which is quite high. Same with the PSV, actually. In fact, the top 3 teams all finished level on points. Only goal difference separating the 3 sides. PSV had the same goal difference, however, they did score a lot more goals than ourselves. If we just have a quick look, 69 goals they scored, we scored 64, so very short on that. And we only conceded 26 goals, which is fantastic. I didn't expect that considering we lost 7 games, but 26 conceded, but not an awful lot being scored, so maybe we just tweak the formation a little bit. But we'll see how the youngsters are doing in just a second. I mean, that's amazing. 3 teams on the same number of points and all into the Champions League. I'm hoping we jump straight into the Champions League phase and not through the qualifiers again. The Dutch Cup, we lost in the semi-final to FC20, 2-1. Where did that come from? And PSV are winning the other one, and I'm assuming they go on to win it. No, FC20 went on to win it. The Champions League, we didn't even get out the group stage. If we have just a quick look, we finished bottom. We won 2 games though against Newcastle and Barcelona, both at home. But the 4 losses, surprisingly at home to Napoli. We lost to Napoli away as well. And then we got smashed by Barcelona away from home and Newcastle as well. So disappointing not to even attempt to go through or even drop into the next competition. But I expected a bit more, especially after beating Barcelona and Newcastle. I thought they were the 2 hardest teams, but it seems Napoli were harder. Overall winner, Real Madrid after extra time against Manchester City. Our squad, if we have a quick look, 14 goals then for Kenneth Taylor, which doesn't seem an awful lot, does it, at all. Traore weighs in with 14 and 9. And our striker who we had up front, Semi Kilitsoy, I think it is now pronounced, I'm not sure, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we'll still go with Semi, I think. I just don't want to mispronounce it yet again. He looks solid. Maybe another season and then he'll jump up. But he's only 20 years old. Traore is 30. So 13 and 3 then for Semi. Pafunde weighs in with 11 and 10, which is pretty good. Second highest assist maker. We've also got David Kalako, 10 and 4. That's not bad on the left wing. We also locked in Mokio. Again, 18 years old. Looks very solid. A lot of potential still. 2 on 1, 47 games. Brilliant. Hato, 47 as well with the 1 assist. Again, only 20 years old. And Restes only conceded 45 and 48 in the end with 20 clean sheets for 21 years old. That's amazing. With an average age of 25, I'm sure we can get that even lower. We'll see what we can do. Pasvia is probably increasing that age group, and Booman as well. Did he play any games? 9 off the bench. So going into next season then, we do need to improve. We need to we're not that far away from winning the league, actually, to be honest. So that's 4 seasons now they haven't won the league, so yeah, it's pretty frightening. But they are expecting for the club vision to win it this season, so let's have a look, see if they're going to back us. And wow, they are. 44, nearly 45 million euros to go and strengthen this side some more, with 50 grand a week in wages budget, which I'm sure will probably release some players and just move the sliders along so we can get a fair balance of some of the youngsters that are coming through. So right, off we start then with transfers out. We do sell 13.5 million euros out the door. Akpom's gone to Wolves for up to 7.75. We also lose Bertrand Traore as well to Salzburg for 4 million, and Anton Gay to Midtjylland for 975,000, and then a couple of other fringe players, including a few loanees as well, like Booman's gone out on loan. We couldn't offload him any other way, and to give our youngsters a chance of game time, we had to move some of these players out of the club for the time being. That did enable us to bring in some more youngsters. And first up for 15 million from Club Bruges is Nicolo Trisoldi. 22 years old now. He was 21 when we brought him in. A very good young striker. And with him, Brobby, and with Klicksoy up top, then we should be pretty golden going into this season. He's played a couple of games for us already, scoring quite a few goals. From Lyon for 8 million, we also bring in Sail Kumbedi, a right back, 21 years old, looks very, very physical, 5'9" as well. Good, strong right foot. He can cross the ball as well, and some of them attributes look really decent, and probably our best player on that right hand side at the moment. From Campo Basso in Italy, we bring in Matteo Rizzo, just a backup goalkeeper, 21 years old, got some real good stats on him as well, got good potential, and as a backup, not too bad, only 850,000 euros. From Leipzig for 16 million, we bring in El Shadel Bitshuabu, a centre back, another one to rival some of our youngsters like Makio, Hato and Sotalo at the back. Another decent player, 21 years old. Quite good stats on him as well, very, very quick. And from our youth side, we've decided to promote him. He was 21 years old. I didn't even realise we had him, actually, to be honest. I was looking for a left winger and they were asking far too much money, or the wages wise was ridiculous. We bring in a Mauricio Van Axel Dongen to play on that left hand side. I can't believe he was sitting in our B team, I think he was. He looks very, very good. He's played a few games already with the 1 assist, playing at 7.33. So hopefully this will be his breakout season. Got plenty of potential, so there's no reason why not. We will be locking in a few players. Profundi is going to the right hand side because we're now adopting a 4-2-4. We're going to be more attacking this season with Kumbedi at right back and Dongen on the left hand side. He's currently injured though. He's going to be out for 3 months, unfortunately, but he will be back into the first team once he returns. And at the moment we've gone 4-for-4. We've beat FC20, Almere, Herenveen and Utrecht as well. 6-0 in fact that game, with Trisoldi netting a brace in that one. The Champions League this season, we've got Slavia Prague, Napoli, Tottenham, Aston Villa, Partizan, Barcelona, AC Milan and Rapid. I would have expected us to go through in this competition to the next round at least anyway, and at the moment we are sitting top of the table, 2 points clear, and we are predicted 12th in the Champions League, and we were straight into the Champions League with no qualifiers this time round as well, so that's an added bonus. Are we clear favourites for the Eredivisie this season? No, we're not. PSV are 13-5. We were 12-5 last season. And we've only got a few players in the Dream 11. Wow, that has to change very, very quickly. But our youngsters will come good in the end, I'm sure of it. So let's jump into Season 2 and let's see if we can, well, first of all, come top and see if we can gain any more traction in the Champions League. We've had some memorable games this season and quite a few high scoring ones as well, including a 6-1 win over Volendam with Brobby netting a hat-trick. We also had a memorable 2-1 victory over PSV with Taylor netting the winner in the 79th minute. We seem to be smashing goals left, right and centre. 6-0 against Zol with Kluksoy netting a hat-trick in this one. We even take Sparta Rotterdam to the cleaners as well, winning 6-2. The final league game of the season saw us continue scoring goals, including a 7-goal thriller against Excelsior 7-4, which finally see us win the Eredivisie in exceptional aplomb, where we win it by a good 9 points in the end from Feyenoord. PSV dropped well back into third position. We finished as champions finally. After a 4-year wait, we're finally back on top. Only losing 2 games this season to Nijmegen and Feyenoord. 80 goal difference. Wow, that is remarkable. The formation does absolutely wonders. The 4-2-4. It has worked brilliantly for us. However, more importantly, how well did it do for us in Europe? Because I'm not sure this is the sort of formation you would play in Europe, but who knows? We literally dominated the Eredivisie, that's for sure. And to add to the trophy cabinet, we win the Dutch Cup, making it a League and Cup double domestically. Despite going behind to Utrecht, we do manage to come back and win the game in the second half 2-1, with Trisoldi getting us on the way with the equaliser and then a 79th minute winner. Mansberg doing all the job at the right hand side with Brobby netting it. And a nice 2-1 victory in the Cup where we literally did dominate. 65% possession, 20 shots on goal. You cannot ask for more than that. The Champions League, however, not brilliant, it has to be said. A 1-1 draw started proceedings off against Slavia Prague, where we got the equaliser in the 91st minute. Very disappointed by that result because I expected us to win quite comfortably. Then defeats by Napoli 4-2, Spurs and Aston Villa made it very difficult for us to get out of this group at this halfway stage. But a 5-1 victory over Partizan kept hopes alive of progressing. But a 2-2 draw with Barcelona the following game, we thought we had turned a corner. But further defeats by AC Milan and Rapid literally put an end to our aspirations in Europe this season, where we finished in 30th position outside the qualifying. 5 points, 3 points off. Very disappointing. In fact, it's more than that, 5 points off in the end. Napoli only just scraping through actually with 2 wins, and one of them was against us. So yeah, very disappointed. Rapid finished just above us actually, possibly on goal difference. But yeah, very disappointing to not progress any further. So maybe the formation for Europe is not as good. That's where we're going to have to concentrate on going forward, because now we have won back the Eredivisie. We should be dominating that here on in until we win the Champions League. The final in the end was won by Inter Milan over Real Madrid 1-0. You cannot say that it does not produce goals. Profundi 26 and 22 from that right hand side position. Maybe that's where he's best at playing, I don't know, but that is some figures. 48 goal contributions is remarkable. Brobby weighs in with 23 and 4. Kenneth Taylor from the midfield 22 and 19, 41 goal contributions. Klicksoy 21 and 15, 36 goal contributions. Tresoldi got some game time, 18 and 6. And then we got Dongan as well, who was a new recruit on the left hand side. Not too bad, I guess. 12 and 11. Could our other left winger have done better? I don't know. Mansverk 6 and 10, 13 assists for Kumbedi as well, which is pretty good. And Windle as well, 11 assists. Goalkeepers, Rizzo did play some game time, 3 games, 6 conceded. And Restes, our main goalkeeper, 52 conceded in 44, which isn't too bad again because we did play European football, 14 clean sheets. So moving on to next season, where we will have to concentrate on European football. The challenge is to win the Champions League, so that's where we're going to concentrate on more so than the league. But even though we do still want to win the league, because we need to win that in order to progress to the Champions League. But so next season, money wise, we have been given 53 million euros, which is fantastic. They've got 163 in the bank as well. Have to pay the debt off now. That yes, they have no debts. 330,000 euros a week in wages as well, which is even better as we try and build. And do we keep the same formation? Because that formation has kind of worked. We did push our midfielders up, so maybe if we push them back, we may not concede as much, or maybe we drop one person back just to help out the defence, or do we put one in libero, push into the DM position? So let's delve into the window this season and see what we can come up with. Starting with the players out, we lose our centre-back Sotalo. He's gone to Napoli for up to 30 million euros. He had a couple of seasons left with us on his contract, and it was time to let him go, to let some of the youngsters take over. And 30 million, I think it's quite a good price. We also lose Fitz Jim as well. Wasn't getting much game time. He's gone to Salento for 6.25. Raul Morro, our left back option, gone to Cadiz, gone back home, 3.8 million. And Yuri Bass as well, one of the youngsters, gone up to 1.7. Rizzo has gone out on loan amongst some of the other players as well. 38 million added to the kitty, giving us over 90 million in the end, which is quite a good haul. So we went big this time. From Barcelona for 20 million euros, we're bringing 21-year-old Rooney Bargi to go on the right-hand side. Yep, we've changed the formation yet again. Surprise, surprise. See if this works for the Champions League at least anyway. He looks a phenomenal player. Fitness, pace and acceleration looks really good. He's got good technicals. Mentals isn't that bad as well. And he's got very high potential as well. So we're happy to bring him to the club as well. And can also play up front. In fact, he's quite a good attacking option. 42 million euros we've spent on Lenny Yoro. I like Lenny Yoro, 21 years old. He's got bags of potential. I think he's a player that could really make it in the Premiership and at Man United, providing they use him properly. And I think he will benefit being at Ajax for quite a bit as well. But 42 million is quite steep. However, he has played 5 games for us with a goal already and averaging over 7 rating as well. So it's fantastic stuff for us. Physicals look fantastic, mentals as well, and not many stats under double digits. Another player from Barcelona, 35 million. We bring in Pau Kubasi, another central defender. After we lost Sutalo, bringing in a couple of more defenders will help us strengthen them at the back. And again, another young player, 20 years old, bags of potential yet again. You could say he's probably a little bit better than Yoro maybe, but the pair of them together will be pretty good. We've also got Heto as well, and Bitshuabu as also. So we've got quite a good backup or array of defenders now. We also bring in a left back as well, 325,000 euros. That was it. That was cheap. Looks like he's got dual nationality as well. Morocco, I think that is, and Spain. Good potential, reasonably quick as well. 16 on both counts. That's fantastic. Again, like the rest of the other defenders, not many under 10 at all. And finally from Stuttgart, 7.25 million, we're bringing another goalkeeper, Dennis Seaman. Restes is getting a little bit complacent, and after conceding quite a lot of goals last season, we decided to give him a kick up the bum and bring in another decent goalkeeper. 21-year-old Dennis Seaman comes in, and very, very cheap as well. And in fact, I think we may lock him in this season to see what he can do, and then we'll let them battle it out between them in the next coming seasons. And I think he's slightly better than Restes as well, given the play time. So all in all, the formation has changed yet again. We are going one up front this time. I think we concentrated too much going forward that we neglected the back line, and we are locking these particular players in. In fact, 4 of them are locked in, and they're all at the back. So we've got Seaman, Yoro Kubasi, and Asno as well. And I'm not complaining one little bit. 4 for 4 in the league so far. We've won the Super Cup. We beat Feyenoord 3-0. And we also beat them 4-0 in the league as well. In fact, that Super Cup looked like it was at home. I'm not sure whether it was or not, but we'll take it. Rooney and Profundi both scoring. Then we went on to beat Almere, Feyenoord again, like I say, Heerenveen and William II. Champions League, hopefully we'll do a lot better this time around. We've got Spurs yet again. Juventus, AC Milan again. We got Vigo, Porto, Inter Milan again. Can't seem to get away from them. Shakhtar Levski as well. I think that is about it actually. So we are top of the table, 12 for 12 with PSV, as Feyenoord are way down there, having lost 2 games already, both to ourselves and PSV. The Champions League with the new side and new formation, we are predicted around about 18th, so that's a lot better, not out here. Confirmation of the Johan Cruyff Cup as well. Predictions, I'm guessing we should be near the top this time. Preview, we are 11 to 10 now favourites. We've taken over PSV after winning it last season, and any big fees being paid out, in fact it doesn't really say, does it? Oh, there we go, 42. Yeah, we played Yoro and Kubasi the money there, 77 million in total. Wow, it's a lot of money. So let's jump into season 3. Let's see if we can hold on to our Eredivisie title, and let's see if we can at least out of the group stage in the Champions League now. We should do it this season. We start off in the Champions League in the group stage where we battered Spurs in our first game 4-1. We followed that excellent win with a 2-2 draw away at Juventus and a 2-2 draw with AC. We remained unbeaten, including the 2-0 victory over Vigo, before succumbing to a battering defeat away at Porto. Inter Milan, however, were easily beaten as well, 4-2 at home. And so were Shakhtar with a hat-trick from Kenneth Taylor in a 3-0 away victory. A 1-1 draw, however, away at Levski put our qualification in the balance. But we didn't need to worry at all because we finished in 11th position. 4 wins, 3 draws and just the 1 loss. 15 points, 1 point off actually getting into the top 8. The knockout round, we played Newcastle, where we drew 4-4 away from home in the first leg. And then a Profundi brace 10 minutes from time secured a 3-1 victory. The round of 16 we went on to play Arsenal, where we win the first leg 1-0. And that is where our story ends in the Champions League. We got cut off rather short. 2-0 away at Arsenal with 2 goals with half an hour to go, ending all hopes of progressing. But it's not all doom and gloom as Profundi nets in the extra time of the Dutch Cup final against Feyenoord, giving us a trophy. 1-0 in the end, 25 shots to their 19. An excellent game by all accounts. And I think it's the second time we've won this now on the bounce. And to go with the Dutch Cup, we win the title yet again, this time convincingly and unbeaten. 19 points clear of PSV. What a phenomenal season. Round of 16, the Dutch Cup, the Johan Cruyff Cup, and now the league as well, as we are now starting to dominate clearly in the Dutch league. But it's the Champions League where we just need to focus on as we progress out the group stage. But unfortunately, we come against Premiership clubs which are just too strong. As we played Seaman in goal, 45 conceded and 46, 17 clean sheets. Fantastic. Lenny Yoro looking good as well, 6 goals and an assist. Kubasi 4 and 3, brilliant. And Azunu as well, 5 and 8. That's pretty good from our players that we tied in. 37 goals, however, of Kalixoy with 6 assists. Profunde 28 and 18. Another 46 goal contributions is just brilliant. Bargy 20 and 21. Wow, 20 and 17 for Kenneth Taylor as well. Our midfield and attack is just superb. Vink, who was out on loan, we did have him in for a couple of friendlies, and he's come from our youth academy. 19 and 6 in 39 away out on loan. But Dongan, 37 games, 10 and 16, 10 and 17 for Mansverk as well. I mean, the side is just absolutely brilliant. They really are. Rizzo, who's out on loan, also 42 conceded in 37. So both players out on loan have done remarkably well as our first teamers as well. But the Champions League is yet to be won, and that's where we're still going to carry on concentrating, because that is the challenge. We still want to dominate the Dutch League and Cup, but the Champions League is priority now, as we want to improve a bit more, and we've been given just under 43 million euros to improve the side some more, with 125 in the bank. Can we pick up the right players this time round to progress further into the Champions League? Once again, then we'll start with the transfers out, and 25 million euros go out. Isik, he goes to Chelsea for 7.25. He was sitting in the second team. Mainz have picked up Kaloko for up to 10.25. We also lose Regia, our right back. He's gone to Lyon for 5.75, and then a couple of other players going very, very cheaply, including Rizzo, goalkeeper. Third choice, in fact, he's gone to Go Ahead Eagles for 3 million. It enhanced our budget, and we did manage to spend just under 80 million euros. First up, for 11.75 from River, we bring in Luciano Segura, a right back, bags of potential. We're going to be playing him this season. Looks absolutely phenomenal. Kumbedi can play there as well, and a few other players, but I just want to see how this young guy develops very, very quickly. 17 years old as well. From Dinamo, 11 million euros. We bring in a left winger. He's performing already. We've locked him in already. 6 games, 3 goals, 4 assists already. Looks phenomenal. And at that price and that potential, is very cheap. From Anderlecht, 28 million. I realised we didn't have any backup DMs, and we bring in Nathan De Cat. What a name. Again, bags of potential, 20 years old. Looks pretty solid. From Barcelona, 15 million euros. We bring in Hector Fort. Can play either side, right back or left back, or central defence as well, actually. A brilliant backup to have. He was 21 when we brought him in. He's only just turned 22. We spent 60,000 on Igor Turchin. We've actually put him out on loan, and whether or not he is on loan, he's with the youngsters at the moment. One player for the future. Very, very good stats at 18. And from Genk, for 12 million, we bring in a backup midfielder or DM again. Bags of potential. So we've got some real good backups now in that centre of the park. We have dropped to 2 DMs now just to stop the goals going in, and we have locked 2 of our new signings in. We started where we left off last season. However, we did lose the Super Cup to PSV 1-0, disappointingly. A 19th minute winner from Shooten for PSV. Cannot believe we lost that one. However, the league, we're back on target once again. Lots of goals being scored. We beat AZ 3-1. We did draw with Feyenoord, however, 1-1. And we had a player sent off towards the end, but we had to wait 77 minutes to get the equaliser. Excelsior, we beat 3-1. We beat Nijman 4-0. We smashed Willem II 7-0. They were top. And then away at Almere, we drew 1-1. Again, we had to wait very late on to get an equaliser. The Champions League, we've got Copenhagen, Rennes, Marseille, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Bodo Glimt, Atletico Madrid and Liverpool. Something tells me they don't want us to win this Champions League, because that is very, very hard. We are lying third in the table currently after them 2 draws and 4 wins. 2 points off the leaders Heerenveen, who have won 5. But Utrecht have won 5 as well, but lost 1 game. Feyenoord are below us, and so are PSV actually, not doing too particularly well. We are predicted 18th in the Champions League phase, which isn't too bad. And this season, are we predicted top of the table? Are we clear favourites yet, I wonder? 4-6, so it looks like we are moving away as clear favourites. And it's nice to see that we have got a lot of players in the Dream 11. Not bad for a bunch of 20-year-olds, I think. So let's jump into season 4, I think, now. And see if we can surprise a few teams in the Champions League, as well as hanging on to our title in the Eredivisie. It's yet another title. That's fantastic. 3 titles on the bounce now, virtually dominating the Eredivisie, which is what you love to see. So not winning it for 4 seasons, to win it 3 on the bounce. Let's try and make it again if we have to. But 2 losses this time round. PSV and Feyenoord, our closest rivals, but PSV finishing 4th and Feyenoord in 2nd. We finished 5 points ahead with a cracking goal difference of 78. Taylor gets the best player in the league alongside Bargy. Kliksoy, 2nd highest goal scorer, with Liam Delap's now at Feyenoord. We also get to the final of the Dutch Cup again. A 2-0 victory this time against Willem II, with a superb goal by Kliksoy there to set us on our way. But a 2-0 victory overall. Our left wing, I think, scores the next one. Dongan, I think. What a finish that is. The Champions League, we qualified to the next round, at least the knockouts anyway. 13th position, 4 victories. Atletico Madrid, Bodo Glimt, Rennes and Copenhagen. The 3 games I expected us to be Atletico Madrid, that is a little bit of a surprise. We did draw with Real Madrid, so we didn't lose to the Madrid sides, but we did lose to Liverpool, Arsenal and Marseille. The first leg of the knockout round, we played against our Dutch counterparts PSV, and we lose 3-2 in the first leg away from home. But a 4-1 victory at home in the second leg sees us progress to the round of 16, where we played Arsenal again, who put us out last season, I think they did, and we beat them 2-0 at home in the first leg, which is a vast improvement from last time round, and a superb finish to round things off in this first game. But an 83rd minute equaliser by De Cat sees us level 1-1 with Arsenal at the Emirates, which sees us progress to the quarter-finals. Get in. Where a man of the match performance from Bargy, who nets a hat-trick in this game, sees us win the first game 4-0. But despite losing the second leg, we progress 4-1 on aggregate. But a fantastic effort against Liverpool at home in the first leg sees us win 4-0. But this strike from Kliksoy in the 24th minute was all the difference in a 5-4 aggregate victory in the second leg, where we played another Premiership club in the Champions League, this time in the final, but it was a 1 step too far in the end, disposing of Arsenal, disposing of Liverpool, but Chelsea a game too far, just far too good for us in the end, and spanking us 4-0 without reply. Just bitter disappointment for the lads, but one the youngsters can take on going into next season to see if they can complete the challenge. Just so unlucky. And there we have it for this season 4. The League and Cup double, runners up in the Johan Cruyff Cup, but runners up in the Champions League. We get all the way to the final. Just shows that we can still do it. And after finishing round of 16 last season, we progressed a lot further. And same fantastic effort, 31-8 there for Kliksoy. He's only 23 years old now. With Kenneth Taylor helping out with 17 and 16, 16-11 for Pafunde, 16 and 7 for Bargy, and Varela, 20-year-old left winger, which we left him in this season, 15 goals, 28 assists, which is fantastic. And Brobby still around, 10 goals, 13 assists here for Segura as well at right back, which is brilliant. Also, he's only 18 years old. He could be that guy, couldn't he? 71 million euros rated now, which is, wow, it's a lot. And Seaman, 49 goals conceded in 53 with 22 clean sheets. Restes did get some game time, conceding 2 with 3 clean sheets out of the 4. Wow. And there's only one player that didn't really play last season, and that bit Schwabi as well, which is unfortunate. So next season we have to go again, see if we can maintain that Eredivisie as well as get into the final if we can again in the Champions League, and this time taking it 59 million euros to improve the side a little bit more. As we have a good foundation of a lot of youngsters now, we need to start bringing in the big guns, I think, just to consolidate and see if we can take that Champions League, because that's proven to be pretty difficult. Right, season 5 transfers out. Brobbey has gone to Saudi Arabia for up to 28.5 million euros, which is quite a good price actually, considering hardly played last season, but still got the goals. Still a decent forward and still well under 30 as well. Windle as well, he's gone to Saudi, 17.5 million. We lose Terenzi, I think he was in the second team for up to 14, nearly 15 million. I didn't see that coming. Restes has finally gone as well, didn't really get any game time, though I think he's just dropped off quite a bit actually, and Siemens just taken control of that number 1 jersey. He's gone to Brighton, 7.5 million. We lose Hector Fort. Didn't really break into the team at all, unfortunately. 8.5 million. Borges as well, same sort of thing. It was a good cover for left back, but it's gone Cagliari for 8.25, and we lose another defender, Gaston Avila. I think he's a defender. 5.25. We also let a few people go out on loan, like Vink, Trisoldi, Vandenberg. He's looking pretty good as well, and yeah, some youngsters. So yeah, our side looks pretty solid now. 87 million brought back into the coffers. We do spend over 160 million this window. From Belgrano, 13 million. We're bringing another goalkeeper. We lost Restes. We need another backup. In fact, he could be our number 1. He looks really good. He's going to be battling out with Seaman for that number 1 jersey. I don't think he's as good as Seaman, but he's got a lot more potential, which is nice to see. He's played all the games so far. Already conceding 5 because I think we locked him in just for the pre-season, and I forgot to unlock him and let Seaman battle it out with him. So I'll do that before we start this next season, but I want to give him a go, and he's done pretty well so far. He's only 17 years old. Next up from Copenhagen for 15.5 million, we're bringing another striker. We lost Brobbey, Trisoldi's out on loan, and the same with Vink as well, so another striker was needed. And to be perfectly honest, there was a lot more strikers out there with a high potential, and this was the pick of the bunch really. 15 finishing, reasonably quick as well. He's played 4 games off the bench so far, hasn't scored, only 18 years old, so him and Kiliksoy up top, they're going to be pretty frightening for the defenders facing them. From Dinamo, 8.5 million, we'll bring in Bellino, a right winger. He can play in cam position as well. Again, another backup option. Looks pretty decent, only 20 years old. We spent 50 million on 21-year-old Benjamin Brantland from Arsenal. DM, cam, midfield, anywhere directly through the middle. In fact, he's very, very versatile, and it looks pretty decent. We're not locking him in because of the price tag, but he should be able to battle it out with some of the first teamers. From Braga, 35 million, we bring in João Castro, central defender option. Yoro, we got Kubasi, Hato as well, quite good options. And again, another high potential, only 19 years old, so some good years left in him. From ATP for 15 million, we're bringing a right back. Again, another very solid option. And finally, for 25 million from Anderlecht, we're bringing a left wing as well. I think now we have covered every position, and we've got multiple players that can play this. So if a load of people get injured, we have got a lot of cover. So I did say we're going to lock him in. I'm going to take him out now. So our side is going to look a little bit like this with 2 DMs, and if we pick our best 11, that's what it comes out. I mean, in fact, it's not far off the side that we really started off with before the window. It looks very solid, but a lot of backups that could come straight in. Like Pafunde's injured, we've got a player that could come straight in. In fact, hope he's not injured for long. 3 weeks, it's not too bad. And it's nice to see a lot of green right through, and we haven't conceded many goals as well, which is an added bonus. And the Champions League this season, we've got Porto, Lille, Galatasaray, Leipzig, Napoli, Zrinski, Benfica and Liverpool. I have very good hopes of finishing in the top 8 this time around. We're running away with the league at the moment. We are 4 points clear, 6 for 6 away from Feyenoord and 7 points away from PSV. We are predicted 18th now in the Champions League. It just doesn't make sense. We hit the final last season. We've improved our side again a lot more. Just doesn't make sense. And if we have a look at our squad, we have got an average age now of 22. Season preview, yeah, we're looking very, very good for odds on favourites now. 8 to 15, quite some way from PSV. And there's only one player that is not Ajax's player in the Dream 11. It's Reese from Eindhoven, PSV. So let's jump into Season 5. So let's defend our titles and see if we can get that elusive Champions League. The league title has been won again, and once again we're unbeaten. 30 wins from 34, 87 goal difference, and we finish 18 points clear of Feyenoord, who finished in second. PSV a further 3 points behind as well, and it's literally we ran away with it. Taylor and Bargy, best players in the league. We got Kiliksoy with 21 goals for the season as well in the league and winning the Golden Boot. Bargy and Varela, most assists, with Bargy getting 21 assists. That's incredible. Profunde and Taylor, most player of the match awards, and Alfredo Villarreal. He's the 17-18-year-old in goal, and he got 15 clean sheets, 4 behind Nubel, who takes the Golden Glove. We've done remarkably well as we win our 4th title on the bounce after not winning it for 4 seasons. So there's a testament to the lads and the youngsters that we have brought in. That can't be said for the Dutch Cup, however, because we got knocked out in the second round to Zwolle after extra time at 1-0. That is really disappointing. I expected to go and claim that back as well, or defend it, and it just wasn't the case. But who went on to go and win it? It was Feyenoord in the end. The Champions League, however, we did finish in 13th position, 4 wins in the end. Benfica, Zrinski, Napoli we beaten. Wow, that's brilliant. And Lille as well. We did draw with Liverpool, which is also another good result. And the games we lost, Leipzig 5-6. Wow, Galatasaray and Porto. So straight into the knockout rounds where we played Juventus. The first leg away from home, we draw 0-0. As the second leg goes to extra time as we score 2 early goals, winning the tie 4-2 on aggregate. We played Real Madrid in the round of 16 where the lads have done us proud once again, this time taking the first leg 2-1. And despite an onslaught from Real Madrid in the away leg, we managed to hold on, even though we took the lead after 44 minutes. But Real Madrid did come back strongly and they did dominate the game. However, we held on to win the tie 3-2. So onwards to the quarterfinals, where we played Manchester City at the Etihad. And despite losing 2-1, we managed to get that all-important goal to close the tie up. But 2 goals in 2 minutes in the second leg see us win 2-0 and a very tight 3-2 aggregate score win, where we took Liverpool in the semi-finals to the cleaners 5-1, which is an incredible result, dominating the game. And, well, I don't think there's any way back for them in the second leg after this. And Kiliksoy finishing the tie off 1-0 at Anfield, sending us to the final 6-1 overall, where we played Arsenal with a superb free kick from Mansvert there. Wow, what a finish. We win the Champions League 2-1. We go 2-0 ahead with about 5 minutes to go. What another brilliant finish. Arsenal make a go of it towards the end with a consolation goal, but that's all it was. And finally, we do win the Champions League. And there's confirmation. The Champions League has now been won, along with the league and the Johan Cruyff Cup. Unfortunately, not the Dutch Cup, but the challenge is over. We managed to win it in the 5th season finally, and the youngsters have done us proud. Cannot expect any more than that, and it's been a pleasure playing with these youngsters, and I feel like now even more so that we could carry this save on and on and on, just signing under 21 players who have got such high potentials. To be perfectly honest, it's hard to spend the money because the team you have got is young with loads of potential already. But it has been a pleasure playing this save. I've really enjoyed it. But let's have a quick look at the squad for the final time. 30 goals and 5 for Kiliksoy, though. He has been absolutely superb. He's only on 30 grand a week as well, worth 110 million. Wow. Varela as well, he's only 21, 20 and 16. Taylor He's now 28. He's probably the oldest player in the club now, actually, to be fair. He's been with us right from the very start. 19 and 12. Pafunde, he's done remarkably well as well. 16 and 11. Bargy, what a player. Rooney Bargy take about 15 and 29 assists. That's incredible. 10 and 3 for Vink. He's out on loan. He's still putting it away, and he's only 23 himself. He's from our academy. 13 assists for Azuno as well, which is brilliant. And anybody else down here? 26 conceded by Villarreal. He played 38 games in the end with 19 clean sheets. Probably not as much as Seaman, who did play 15 with 14 conceded and 8 clean sheets, which is another brilliant performance. And again, Bitshabu didn't play a single minute of any game. That's unfortunate. Again, we did try to offload him, but we ran out of time in the window. But again, another brilliant display from the lads, with an average age of 23 is fantastic. And I can remind you that this game save will be available to you on Ko-fi.com. I will leave the link down in the description below if you want to carry the save on from season 6, where you will have these youngsters fighting for a place. And this goalkeeper, 17 years old, Alfredo Villarreal, he looks superb. Let's have a quick look. I mean, stats wise, look really good actually. It's unfortunate he's a regen though. But going into next season, you will be given a budget of 52 million euros. I'm sure the debts have been cleared. There is no debt, so you have got a lot of spending power in this league. I don't think you really need that many good players really. Just pick out the best youngsters there is and bring them in. So records, did we break any? I'm sure we have done, but let's have a quick look. We're literally maxed out on all facilities, etc. And if we have a look at records, broken records, 96 points in the season. There's a couple of seasons ago with 31 league wins. Highest game receipts was against Manchester City in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, 2.37 million, which is fantastic. Highest average rating, Pafunde, 7.64. We didn't break that many actually. Most assists by a player in a season, Bargy, 29. With Taylor getting 11 Man of the Match awards as well. And transfers, we had Benjamin Brantland from Arsenal for 50 million euros. And I think that was about it. Anthony to Manchester United, 95 million euros. That's just, well, that's good business for Ajax, that's for sure. But what United were thinking at the time, I've got no idea. As we close off this save, we're purchasing under 21s only. It has been fantastic. Hot prospect, Henry Hagman. Interesting. Hot prospect, 17 years old. And you look at our side, apart from Mansverk's 28 as well with Taylor. So they are the two senior players in the club then. Champions League, we did win it a good 33 years later. And the Eredivisie, we have won it now 40 times, including the last 4 seasons, which we did set out to do as well. So if you did enjoy this video, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you again on the next rebuild. Thank you.